Hi, everybody. It's so nice to see you today. I have so much to talk about. I don't even know where to start. There's so much energy on the planet at the moment that I want to speak to that a little bit, and especially kind of tune into this concept of exhaustion. There's this massive amount of existential exhaustion going on the planet, and I feel like it's happening all around me, including me. And it's really quite disconcerting. So I am not someone that struggles with insomnia much at all, but I'm 100% noticing it at the moment. And it's been pretty bad for a number of weeks. And so many people that I know who are energetically sensitive or practitioners are also suffering from this really weird insomnia. So there's a few different layers to that I want to go into and also kind of talk about, other levels of exhaustion as well. For those of you who really like this video and want to know more, please subscribe. I'd really love to have you in my community. And I also have an intuitive mastery school where you can really dive in and get to learn and master your energetic body, learn to heal yourself, learn to really engage and master your intuition, because in my opinion, it is actually one of the most important skills that you can have. And once you can learn to align and master your energies, you can actually manifest and call in and create synchronicities and success that you can't possibly get unless you align your energies first. If you want to join us, you get 2 weeks free. And after that, it's only $10 a week. So it's super affordable. And I would love to have you if you would like to join. So, speaking about all of this existential energy, oh my goodness, I have to say, I am shattered. I have had exhaustion like it's deep, deep in my bones. And I know that we've just moved into state. So we've also had a really big move. We've moved into a new home. So there's all of that general exhaustion as well. But this is just bigger and deeper than that. A lot of people that I know who have also had the insomnia are also hitting kind of this existential energetic crisis in a way. People are kind of pivoting in their work, they're shifting directions in things, and they're currently just kind of experiencing a bit of a treadmill with life. There's blocks, there's upgrades, there's all sorts of stuff going on. So as far as I'm aware, and I don't kind of go into this super often, but there's a lot of solar flares. So solar flares are basically where the sun kind of shoots off more energy than normal. It increases the Schumann resonance on the Earth, which is a science. It's a scientific thing. It's actually the energetic resonance of the planet, which is shifting higher and higher and higher as we enter the 5D and as we're kind of growing and ascending as human beings. The whole energy of the earth is shifting from a 3 to a 5D state. So there's a lot of transition energy happening, but the solar flares are really activating the Schumann resonance quite strongly. And what it also does is kind of activates stuff in us as well. So if we're not sitting in full alignment with things, if we're struggling with something in our lives, if there's something that we're not aligned with, when the solar flares come and this resonance shifts, it creates this massive interference with our body. And I believe that this is partly where this existential exhaustion is coming from. So, we can have normal levels of tired. We can have tiredness from not eating well. We can have tiredness from not sleeping enough. We can have tiredness because of, mineral deficiencies. There's so many reasons why we can be exhausted. But I know for so many people, and myself included, when you have exhausted all of those possibilities and you're still tired, there's something else there. And one of the things that we don't necessarily take a lot of notice of is our existential exhaustion. So that's energetic exhaustion through our chakra bodies, through our purpose. There's a few different levels to this. So number one, if you are in a job or a relationship or a life situation that is really far from your soul alignment, you are going to feel tired. You are going to go to work and you're going to feel more exhausted. You're going to interact with your loved one and feel more tired. You're going to have a life situation where, for the most part, nothing is actually reactivating you and giving you energy. And that is a really tiring thing. So when you don't have that energetic kind of boost from the things that you're doing, you can actually feel kind of super deeply tied in your bones. And that's lack of solar alignment is actually an energy drain for you. It is actually a really important time with all of these solar flares and all of this shifting and transitioning on the earth, a really amazing time for you to actually start just getting curious about your life and starting to ask yourself whether this is actually a problem for you. Is there a part of your life that's not really soul aligned? Is there a part of your life that you are not feeling really happy with? And you actually have to maybe start addressing that. So that might be something to start paying attention to. And then we've got the existential energetics from just the solar flares and the amount of kind of disturbance that happens in the body when you have this energetic interference with your cells. Everything has to kind of recalibrate. You're going to have toxin release. You're going to have biochemical imbalancing. You're going to feel either more hungry or more tired or not hungry at all. You're going to have all of these different biochemical responses in your body. You know, for women, for example, with the lunar cycle, we tend to have our moon or our periods, interact with that lunar cycle, right? With solar flares, this is like an energetic activation, and it really does like shake things up a little bit. So if there's something that isn't aligned, if you've got something that isn't soul aligned, then your life is going to start talking to you, maybe quietly or maybe really, really loudly, that, hello, this isn't working. Please do something different. So for me, I guess one of those questions in the last few weeks has been to really tune in with, okay, what is it that I need to do differently? What am I not connecting with? What am I not soul aligned to? And it's really helping me to fine tune things. So fine tune my food, even though my food's pretty clean, but fine tune that. Also getting into better sleep habits, but doing it with intention. So making sure that I'm meditating enough and making sure that I'm creating intentions enough. I've had quite a few clients as well who've really felt this existential exhaustion, but they're all in upgrades, which means that they're all in a transitional phase. From one of them has a job that she desperately hates and wants to get out of and is really struggling to find the confidence to step into a new job. And so that transition for her is super duper scary. So we're helping to align her energies and to kind of remove those sabotages so that she can step into a job that's actually more soul aligned so she can start to get some energy back. We've dealt with all of the physical stuff. Every time I tune into her physical body, it's totally fine. Every time I tune into her life and her lifestyle, there is no balance. She lives an hour and a half from her work. She doesn't have a social life. She doesn't have any fun. There's no balance anywhere. And the job itself is an incredibly energetic drain for her. So she's just not able to function how she wants to. Another client that I have is in a successful business. She runs her own business, but she's also reached a plateau and needs to upgrade as well. So she's moving from probably 3 years of financial stagnancy, wanting to step into the next level. And by upgrading, I'm not talking about shifting who you are as a person. When we upgrade, what I'm actually referring to is kind of coding deeper into our 5D soul blueprint. So we're shedding old things, we're integrating and healing things that haven't served us. We're integrating and healing belief systems that we've been holding on to that have kept us into old behavioral patterns and old attractive fields. So our attractive fields is what we're calling in and what we're actually asking the universe for. And that is going to be governed by our thoughts and beliefs and our actions, right? So once we can heal those thoughts and beliefs and align ourselves energetically to our outcome, then we start to attract more and more and more amazing stuff. So upgrades are really just the releasing of all of those little blocks that allow us to sit more deeply with that 5D soul divine blueprint so that we can actually call in our heart's desires and do that with relative ease. Which is really fascinating because I have actually attempted to do this video 4 times, and each time either the internet clicks out or there's something wrong with the technology, and it's just one of those days or one of those months really where all sorts of random things are happening, and it's all part of this energetic shift. So for me personally, I have been noticing just that deep bone weary exhaustion, and I've noticed that a lot of it has been because my lack of alignment has been around capacity. So I've just come out of many years of being completely over capacity in terms of what I've had on my plate. I've got 4 children, 2 of them are 4 and under, and the last 4 years have been really intense. Plus I've been running an online business, plus I've been looking after a household, plus I've had a lot of chronic illness issues as well. And so my plate has been overflowing, and I've just barely kept a grip on it. And my guides that have been coming into me fairly recently and just been saying, that capacity thing that you haven't had for the last number of years, well, look, you still have to look after your body and heal it so you can create the capacity. So that bone weariness is reminding me that I have to keep working on my health and working on my soul aligned mission, which is helping you and connecting in with you and having a community of spiritual people. That goal, that long-term goal, requires me to have capacity. And if I want to have capacity, I need to be looking after all of those different aspects of myself and have deep rest. And that deep rest is the only way to gain that level of capacity so that I can step back into this in a really full way. And if you have anything like that going on, where you've got that really deep bone weary exhaustion, or you've got an illness or pain or something that's not really I guess described by a fall or anything practical that's happened, it's potentially this existential exhaustion which is showing up for you. And it's potentially something that you might need to address in terms of, okay, what am I doing with my life and where am I going? It doesn't have to be massively game changing for you, but sometimes it is. I know that for me, as part of gaining capacity, I needed to move. I needed to move out of a big city. I needed to move closer to family. I needed to allow myself to be supported on a practical level so that I could actually create the peace and the ability to gain capacity. But I also have to be really gentle with myself because that's going to take time. And I need to allow myself to deeply rest and to deeply heal so that that capacity can actually come back, which is a wonderful gift that I've been given. And patience is also required, which is not my strong suit. So please connect in with your body and also connect in with all the different aspects of your life to see what is and isn't working for you. And when you understand what it is, or when you think you know what it is, feel into it and just see whether it feels like, oh my goodness, that's it. If I could just fix that, then everything else will be better. And if you get that absolute sense of recognition, then you've got it. That's the thing. Once you know what it is, then you can work on it. If you've got sabotages around working on it, that might show up as well, but that's what my Intuitive Mastery School is for. And also any spiritual practices that you have where you can work through sabotages and work into what it is that you actually need to be doing for yourself. So without further ado, before this cuts out again, have a wonderful day. I really hope this was helpful for you, but please be patient and please be kind to yourself because it's a massive time of transition. I don't think these solar flares have any desire to stop anytime soon. This Schumann resonance is just going to keep rising, and everything that we ignore is just going to get louder and louder and louder. So do what you can to pay attention, and please love yourself through this and get yourself into a place where you're soul aligned so that everything can start coming together for you.